Hello, everyone. Today, we're starting a new series on leadership, where we'll explore every concept of leadership through three engaging examples. I'm sure by now you've got a hint of what I'm about to discuss. Our first example is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, known as a visionary leader. The second example is Ratan Tata, an inspirational mentor and leader. And for the third example, we have Narayana Murthy, who is widely regarded as a system-oriented manager. Using these three examples, we will delve into the differences between a leader and a manager and understand how their roles function uniquely. The first key idea to grasp is this: leadership is about coping with change, whereas management is about coping with complexity. In simpler terms, a leader thrives in situations of change and uncertainty, while a manager focuses on ensuring that processes and systems work smoothly amidst various complexities. Planning versus direction. A manager focuses on creating structured plans to achieve goals. For instance, when Ratan Tata worked on the Nano project, he meticulously designed a detailed plan to deliver an affordable car. On the other hand, a leader focuses on setting a vision and providing direction. Dr. Kalam, for example, gave a visionary roadmap for India's space and defense programs, inspiring groundbreaking projects under his leadership. Leadership management in action. A manager assigns tasks and relies on authority to get things done, while a leader's role is to inspire and motivate people to achieve more than what they think is possible. Let's break this down further. Managers drive work. Leaders inspire people. Narayana. Murthy, as a system-oriented manager, guided his team at Infosys with a disciplined approach to processes and deadlines. On the other hand, Ratan Tata built trust and enthusiasm among his employees and stakeholders, inspiring them to adopt new projects wholeheartedly. Authority versus goodwill. Managers operate through positional authority, while leaders gain their influence through goodwill and trust. Narayana Murthy initially used his managerial position to streamline operations at Infosys. In contrast, Dr. Kalam's leadership naturally earned goodwill because of his vision and genuine dedication to the nation's progress. Fear versus enthusiasm. Some managers use deadlines and penalties to control teams, creating a sense of pressure. However, leaders like Ratan Tata foster enthusiasm and positivity, ensuring their teams are motivated and passionate about the success of their projects. Fixing blame versus solving problems. A manager often focuses on identifying faults when a process fails, while a leader is solution-oriented. Dr. Kalam, for example, always guided his team to innovate and solve problems rather than dwelling on mistakes. How do leaders and managers work differently? For a manager, work is typically routine and task-oriented. A leader, however, transforms work into a meaningful and inspiring journey. Let's take some examples. I versus we. Managers often focus on their own authority and accomplishments, emphasizing I. For instance, a manager might say, I achieved this target. Leaders, however, emphasize teamwork and shared success. Dr. Kalam always credited his team for their achievements, highlighting the we over the I. Work as a task versus work as a game. For managers, work is often seen as a checklist of tasks and deadlines. Leaders, on the other hand, make work engaging and fulfilling. For example, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Clean India Mission campaign transformed cleanliness from a mundane task into a national movement. Leaders like Ratan Tata inspired people to participate enthusiastically, making the campaign feel like a shared mission rather than a chore. As we've seen, the roles of a leader and a manager are distinct yet equally important. Without managers, systems and processes might collapse. Without leaders, organizations lose vision and direction. The perfect organization is one that balances both roles effectively. Now we will explore formal leadership versus informal leadership and understand their nuances. Let's dive in using 3 relatable examples. Indira Gandhi, a formal leader with strong positional authority. Jaya Prakash Narayan, JP, an informal leader who inspired a movement without holding formal power. Narayana Murthy, a manager who exemplifies how systems and structure create formal authority. Through these examples, we'll unravel the difference between formal and informal leadership and how they operate in organizational and societal contexts. What is formal leadership? Formal leadership is position-based, meaning a person is given leadership responsibility because of their official role. For example, Indira Gandhi, as the Prime Minister of India, held formal authority to direct the nation and its institutions. A formal leader is responsible for organizing and directing a group to achieve specific organizational goals. Key characteristics of formal leadership. First, assigned responsibility. Indira Gandhi, as the Prime Minister, was formally accountable for running the country. Her authority stemmed from her official position. Second, communication. Through directives, formal leaders communicate using clear orders and guidelines. For example, Indira Gandhi's emergency directives were issued from her formal position of power. Third, boss-employee relationship. There is a clear hierarchical structure. Formal leaders, like Indira Gandhi, act as bosses, while others operate as subordinates under their directives. What is informal leadership? Informal leadership arises naturally when individuals influence others without holding an official title. They gain leadership status through acceptance by the group rather than formal appointment. For instance, Jaya Prakash Narayan JP, during the emergency period, became an informal leader. Though he had no official authority, his ideas inspired a mass movement. Key characteristics of informal leadership. First, no assigned responsibility. JP had no formal role in government, yet people looked up to him to take responsibility for guiding the opposition during the emergency. Second, engagement over directives. Unlike formal leaders, informal leaders engage with their group as equals. Japan connected directly with citizens, motivating them through speeches and personal interactions rather than issuing formal directives. Third, acceptance over position. An informal leader's power comes from the group's belief in their capability. JP's leadership was based on the people's acceptance of his vision. Comparing formal and informal leadership. First, authority versus acceptance. Indira Gandhi's power was rooted in her formal role as Prime Minister, which gave her the authority to issue directives. In contrast, JP's influence came from the acceptance of his moral authority by the masses, making him an informal leader. Second, responsibility versus voluntary influence. Indira Gandhi was formally accountable for the nation's governance, which included organizing and directing government institutions. JP, however, had no official responsibility, but voluntarily guided the masses, inspiring them to question formal authority. Third, directives versus engagement. Indira Gandhi communicated through official directives, ensuring her orders were followed. JP's leadership, on the other hand, was rooted in engagement. He connected personally with people, rallying them through his vision for a better future. Fourth, hierarchy versus equality. Formal leadership, as seen with Indira Gandhi, operates within a clear boss-subordinate framework. Informal leadership, like JP's, thrives on equality and shared purpose. There's no boss in informal leadership. Instead, there's mutual respect and collaboration. dual roles, when a leader plays both roles. Sometimes a leader can act as both a formal and informal leader simultaneously. Let's take Ratan Tata as an example. As the chairman of Tata Group, Ratan Tata held formal authority with the responsibility of managing one of India's largest conglomerates. At the same time, he played an informal role by inspiring trust and loyalty among employees, shareholders, and the general public. His visionary ideas, such as the Tata Nano project, made him a leader. People willingly followed, beyond his formal title. Similarly, Indira Gandhi also exhibited informal leadership traits. While she held formal authority as Prime Minister, her charismatic leadership inspired loyalty among her party members, making her the de facto decision maker.